Welcome to the Ramayan, Stories of Dharm and Devotion. I'm Sandeep, your storyteller, guiding you through the timeless epic of Valmiki's Ramayan. Today, we continue our journey through the Kishkindha Kanda, a chapter that unfolds with powerful lessons of justice, loss, and redemption. Our narrative draws deeply from Valmiki's original text and is enriched with stories from other Indian traditions, offering you a complete and immersive experience of this eternal tale. In this episode, we witness the climactic confrontation between Bali and Sugreev, culminating in Bali's death, a moment that reshapes the future of the Vanar kingdom. We also explore the aftermath of this event, the emotions it stirs, and the coronation of Sugreev as the rightful king of Kishkindha. Let us step into this pivotal moment in the Ramayan and experience the profound events that define the essence of dharm and leadership.
The courtyard of Kishkindha turned into a battlefield as Bali and Sugreev clashed with all their might. Bali, brimming with confidence, fought with the strength of a warrior blessed by the gods. His every move exuded precision and power, his blows striking like thunder. Sugreev, though determined, struggled to match his brother's ferocity. Each step he took, each strike he delivered, seemed to falter under the sheer dominance of Bali's might. From his hidden vantage point, Ram watched the battle unfold with a mix of admiration and contemplation. Bali's prowess was undeniable. His movements were fluid, his strikes unrelenting. Despite his arrogance, Bali's skill as a warrior was remarkable, a sight that would inspire awe in anyone who witnessed it. Such strength, Ram thought to himself, Bali truly embodies the might of Indra's lineage. His blows carry the force of his divine blessings, and his presence commands respect. But as Ram's thoughts lingered on Bali's strength, his gaze shifted to Sugreev. He saw the younger brother fighting with everything he had, his desperation, his courage, and his determination to reclaim his honor. Sugreev's struggles stirred something deeper within Ram, the memory of his own promise to help this exiled prince, a man wronged by his elder brother. This battle is not just about strength, Ram reminded himself. It is about dharm. Bali may be a great warrior, but his actions have defied justice. My vow to Sugreev is not just a promise. It is my duty as a kshatriya to restore balance and righteousness. As the duel raged on, Bali raised his arm to deliver a final, crushing blow to Sugreev. Sugreev, battered and bruised, barely managed to stand, his breaths labored. It was clear that he could not endure much longer. Ram's resolve hardened. He drew his bow, his movements deliberate and calm, and placed an arrow upon the string. As he pulled the bowstring taut, he whispered a silent prayer to uphold dharm. The arrow, infused with Ram's purpose and precision, flew with unerring accuracy. It struck Bali squarely in the chest, its force stopping the mighty Vanar king in his tracks. Bali staggered, his immense strength faltering for the first time. His weapon fell from his grasp, and his towering figure sunk to the ground. The forest, which moments before had been filled with the sound of their clash, now fell into an eerie silence. Ram stepped out from the shadows, his bow still in hand, and approached Bali. His face was calm, yet his eyes carried the weight of his decision. He had admired Bali's strength, but had not let it deter him from fulfilling his promise and his duty. Sugreev, though battered, stood frozen, watching as his elder brother, the once unstoppable force, lay fallen. His heart was a mix of relief and grief, relief that justice had been served and grief at the sight of his brother's end. The scene, charged with emotion and gravity, marked the culmination of a rivalry that had torn a family apart and tested the very essence of dharm. Ram, though victorious in his act, felt no triumph, only the solemn weight of upholding righteousness in the face of complexity and loss. In the quiet chambers of the palace, Tara sat with her young son, Angad, playing a game to keep his curious mind occupied. The child, full of energy, kept glancing out of the window, where the sounds of the kingdom preparing for battle lingered in the air. "Mother," Angad said, his voice filled with excitement, "why can't I go to see father fight? He's the strongest warrior in the world, and I want to see him defeat Uncle Sugreev." Tara's heart ached at her son's innocent words. She looked at him lovingly and placed a gentle hand on his head. "Angad," she said softly, "your father is indeed strong, but battles are dangerous places, and they're not meant for young eyes. Stay here with me. We will hear the news together." Deep within, Tara had a growing sense of foreboding. The events leading to this day, the arrival of Ram, Sugreev's determination, and Bali's dismissal of her warnings, played repeatedly in her mind. While she wished for Bali's victory, her wisdom told her that this time, fate might not be on his side. As Tara and Angad sat together, a palace servant hurried into the room, his face pale and his movements frantic. He bowed deeply, struggling to find words. "What is it?" Tara asked, her voice calm but commanding. The servant hesitated before speaking. "My queen, Bali has fallen. He was struck down by Ram during his duel with Sugreev." The room fell silent as Tara absorbed the news. Angad, too young to grasp the full weight of the situation, looked up at his mother in confusion. "Mother, what does he mean? Father cannot lose. He is the strongest." Tara's composure began to crack as tears welled up in her eyes. She pulled Angad close, holding him tightly as her grief overtook her. "Your father fought bravely, my son," she whispered, her voice trembling. "But the will of fate is beyond our understanding." Through her tears, Tara maintained her dignity. She turned to the servant and gave her instructions. "Go to Ruma, Sugreev's wife. Tell her what has happened and ask her to join us. If Bali is gone, Sugreev will take the throne, and Ruma should be there to see this moment. It is only right." The servant quickly reached Ruma's quarters, where she was seated quietly, her mind a mix of pride and worry for Sugreev. Hearing the servant's news, Ruma felt a wave of emotion wash over her. "So, it is done," she murmured. "Sugreev has reclaimed his honor, but at the cost of his brother's life." Ruma's heart swelled with pride for her husband's courage, yet she couldn't ignore the sorrow she felt for Tara. She had spent years observing the queen's wisdom, grace, and devotion to Bali and Angad. Despite their differences, Ruma held Tara in high regard. She must be devastated, Ruma thought. A proud woman like Tara has lost her husband, and Angad, his father. How cruel are the turns of fate that pit families against one another. Ruma, composed and dignified, quickly prepared to join Tara. Together with a small retinue, they made their way toward the battlefield. The journey was somber, the air heavy with the weight of what had transpired. Tara walked with Angad by her side, her tears momentarily held back as she focused on supporting her son. Ruma followed closely, her presence a quiet but reassuring gesture of solidarity. Despite the pain and history that divided them, they were united in this moment of loss and transition. As they approached the battlefield, the sight of Bali's fallen form came into view. Tara's steps slowed, and Angad clung to her tightly. Ruma placed a comforting hand on Tara's shoulder. "You are not alone, Tara," Ruma said softly. "Your strength has always been your greatest gift. Lean on it now, for Angad, for Kishkindha." The two women, each carrying their own burdens of sorrow and hope, stepped onto the battlefield together, ready to face the moment that would change the course of their lives forever. As Tara approached the battlefield, her heart sunk at the sight before her. Bali lay on the ground, his once mighty form now weakened, an arrow lodged in his chest. The sharp pain of grief coursed through her as she knelt beside him, her hands trembling. Her sharp eyes noticed the direction of the arrow and understood immediately. It had struck Bali from far, and not a direct duel between Ram and Bali. Tara glanced up and saw Ram standing nearby, calm and composed. Even in her grief, she sensed something extraordinary about him. His bearing was noble, his presence commanding, and his aura seemed to radiate a divine purpose. Bali, struggling to breathe, opened his eyes as Tara sat beside him. He noticed Ram approaching, his bow lowered, but his expression resolute. With great effort, Bali spoke, his voice laced with both pain and indignation. Ram, he began, why did you not come to me directly? If you sought justice, why do you side with Sugreev? I have fought alongside your father, Dashrath, in the heavens, aiding him when he fought alongside Indra. Did that mean nothing to you? You should have come to me. Ram, I would have offered my support in your quest. Even Ravan is no match for me. Ram stood silently, listening with compassion. Once Bali had spoken, Ram replied, his tone steady but firm. Bali, your strength and your deeds are not in question. I respect the courage with which you ruled Kishkindha. But as a ruler and an elder brother, your actions towards Sugreev were unjust. A younger brother may falter, but it is the duty of the elder to guide and forgive, not to punish without reason. Bali interrupted, his voice faint but questioning. Why, then, did you intervene? This was a matter between two brothers. What right did you have to interfere? Ram's gaze softened, but his resolve remained unshaken. I am a Kshatriya, Bali, sworn to uphold dharm. Your punishment of Sugreev went far beyond what was just. By taking Ruma, his wife, you committed an act that violated the sacred bonds of family and dharm. A younger brother's wife is like a daughter or sister to the elder. Her honor is sacred and inviolable. No tradition, no strength can justify such an act. I intervened because it was my duty to restore balance and justice. Bali's eyes dimmed with the weight of Ram's words. A tear rolled down his cheek as he whispered, You are right, Ram. My pride blinded me, and my anger drove me to commit grave mistakes. I ask for forgiveness from you, from Sugreev, and from Tara. He turned his gaze to his wife, whose eyes brimmed with tears. Tara, I failed to heed your wisdom. You warned me, yet I let my arrogance dismiss your words. I see now that you were right all along. Tara, through her sobs, replied, Bali, I warned you because I saw the path you were on, and I knew it would lead to this. If only you had listened. Bali's voice grew faint but resolute. I was only following the Vanar traditions, ensuring that our kingdom remained strong. But I see now that I was wrong in my actions towards Sugreev. Tara, I entrust you with our son, Angad. Guide him, support Sugreev, and ensure the kingdom thrives under his rule. Bali then turned to Ruma, who had been quietly standing nearby, her face a mix of grief and understanding. With great effort, he spoke, his voice trembling. Ruma, my actions toward you were unworthy of a king. I took you from Sugreev, violating the sanctity of your marriage and causing you pain. For this, I am deeply sorry. Ruma stepped forward, her own eyes filled with tears, but her voice steady and compassionate. Bali, though you captured me, you never violated me. You treated me with respect and remained loyal to Tara. For that, I forgive you. The pain you caused was great, but your repentance now brings solace to my heart. These words struck a chord in everyone present. Tara looked at Ruma with silent gratitude, her tears now carrying a glimmer of peace. Bali, hearing Ruma's forgiveness, let out a relieved sigh. Tara silently thanked Ruma for her grace and kindness, knowing that Bali's soul would find peace in hearing those words. Sugreev, too, felt a burden lift from his heart, happy and relieved to know that Ruma had forgiven Bali and that the past could finally rest. Bali looked at Sugreev, who had stepped closer, tears streaming down his face. Sugreev, forgive me for the pain I caused you. Be a just king and care for Tara and Angad as your own. Finally, Bali turned back to Ram. Ram, I see now that you are no ordinary man. Please, ensure that nothing wrong happens to Tara and Angad. Let them live in peace. Ram knelt beside Bali, his voice calm but carrying a profound weight. Bali, your bravery and your dedication to your kingdom were admirable. even if you faltered in other ways. You deserve to leave this world in peace, knowing that your family and your legacy will be protected. With that, Ram revealed his Vishwarupa, his divine form as Lord Vishnu, the preserver of the universe. The cosmic vision unfolded before Bali's eyes alone, an endless expanse of stars, galaxies, and the cycles of creation and destruction, all emanating from Ram. Bali's eyes widened as he beheld the cosmic vision, the vast expanse of creation and destruction contained within Ram. He saw the stars, the galaxies, the cycles of life and death, all emanating from Ram's divine form. In that moment, Bali understood fully who Ram was. Overwhelmed by the vision, a serene smile appeared on his face. "You are Vishnu," he whispered, "the protector of dharm and the sustainer of the universe. I leave this world in peace, knowing that you will guide and protect those I leave behind." With those final words, Bali closed his eyes, his spirit departing in tranquility. The forest seemed to bow in reverence, the air filled with an unspoken calm as the mighty king of the Vanars left his mortal form. Tara held Bali's hand, her tears flowing freely, but her heart at peace knowing that he had found redemption. Sugreev bowed deeply to Ram, his grief mixed with gratitude. Ram's Vishwarup faded, leaving the others on the battlefield unaware of the divine revelation. Tara, Sugreev, Ruma, and the Vanars bowed their heads, sensing the sanctity of the moment. Even if they did not fully comprehend it, Ram placed a hand on Sugreev's shoulder and said, "Your brother has found peace. Now it is your turn to lead with justice and wisdom." As the emotions settled on the battlefield, Ram turned to Sugreev, his voice calm yet carrying the authority of dharm. "Sugreev," he began, "your brother Bali has entrusted his family to your care, and as the new king of Kishkindha, it is your duty to honor his final wishes. Let fairness and righteousness guide your decisions, for they will shape the future of this kingdom." Sugreev, still overwhelmed by the events, nodded solemnly. "Ram, I will do as you say. Bali's family is my responsibility now. Tell me what must be done to ensure justice prevails." Ram turned toward Tara, who knelt beside Bali's lifeless form, her composure now mingled with dignity and strength. "Tara," Ram said gently, "your wisdom and devotion to this kingdom have been evident throughout. Even in times of conflict, your love for peace and unity never wavered. It is only fitting that you remain queen of Kishkindha, providing guidance and stability to its people." Sugreev looked at Tara with respect and bowed his head. "Tara, I promise to honor Ram's words. Your presence will strengthen Kishkindha and ensure its prosperity. Though I will assume the throne, you will always have a voice in the matters of this kingdom." Tara, humbled by Ram's gesture and Sugreev's words, replied, "Ram, Sugreev, I will do my best to guide this kingdom. My loyalty is to Kishkindha and its people, and I will fulfill my role with all the wisdom and strength I have." Ram then turned to the young Angad, who stood close to Tara, his eyes filled with a mix of grief and hope. Kneeling before the boy, Ram placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. "Angad," he said, "your father was a great warrior and a mighty king. Though his actions were flawed, his love for you and his desire to protect this kingdom were unwavering. To honor Bali's legacy and ensure fairness, you shall be named the Crown Prince of Kishkindha. It is your rightful place, and one day you will lead this kingdom with the values of dharm and justice." Sugreev stepped forward and placed his hand on Angad's other shoulder. "Angad, you are my nephew, and I see in you the future of our kingdom. I vow to guide you, protect you, and prepare you for the day you take the throne." Angad, moved by their words, bowed deeply. "I will do my best to honor my father's memory and follow the path of dharm that you have shown me." Turning to Ruma, Ram addressed her with equal care. "Ruma, you have endured much in these past years, and your loyalty to Sugreev has been unwavering. While Tara will remain the figurative queen of Kishkindha for her wisdom and experience, you will always hold the place of the true queen in Sugreev's heart and in this kingdom. Ruma, her eyes filled with gratitude, stepped forward and placed her hands together in respect. Ram, your sense of justice and compassion have restored my faith in the future. I will stand by Sugreev and do my part to support this kingdom. As Ram concluded his suggestions, everyone present, Tara, Sugreev, Ruma, Angad, and the gathered Vanars, felt the weight of his wisdom and righteousness. They looked to him with reverence, recognizing that his guidance had not only restored balance, but also united a fractured kingdom. Sugreev, moved by Ram's fairness and compassion, vowed, Ram, I will rule Kishkindha with justice and humility, following the path you have shown me. This kingdom will remain loyal to you, and we will stand by you in your quest to rescue Sita. The Vanars raised their voices in agreement, pledging their loyalty to one another and to the ideals of dharm. The atmosphere, once heavy with conflict, now brimmed with hope and unity. As the sun set over Kishkindha, the kingdom stood on the threshold of a new era, one guided by justice, loyalty, and the wisdom of Ram. The bonds forged that day would echo through the ages, reminding all of the enduring power of dharm and the strength of unity. The stage was now set for the next chapter in Ram's journey, with Kishkindha standing firmly by his side.
In this episode, we witnessed the dramatic conclusion of the rivalry between Bali and Sugreev, a moment that restored dharm and reshaped the future of Kishkindha. Ram's wisdom and compassion shone brightly as he balanced justice with empathy, ensuring that every decision honored the values of fairness and unity. We saw Tara's unwavering grace and wisdom as she guided her family and kingdom through grief, and Ruma's quiet strength as she stood by Sugreev with pride and love. Angad's rightful place as crown prince symbolized a future built on reconciliation and fairness, while Sugreev's acceptance of responsibility marked the dawn of a new era for the Vanar kingdom. This episode reminded us that even in the face of conflict and loss, the pursuit of justice, guided by humility and wisdom, can bring about unity and redemption. Ram's ability to honor each individual's role and restore balance exemplified the highest ideals of dharm, leaving an indelible mark on everyone present. Join me in the next episode as we follow Ram, Sugreev, and the Vanars as they prepare for the next phase of their journey, the search for Sita. This mission will test their courage, resolve, and the strength of the alliances forged in the fires of conflict. Share this podcast with your loved ones, and let the timeless lessons of the Ramayan inspire your journey. Though the details of this ancient tale may vary across traditions, its essence reminds us of the enduring power of friendship, humility, and righteousness. Until next time, may the light of dharm illuminate your path and fill your heart with peace.